Hello everyone. So I'm up here. They just set the forms for the foundation walls today. Going to be pouring the concrete tomorrow. So I figured I would come up, take a look around, and while I'm here, why not do a little video? So I'm going to start here. We are at the garage end of the house. So here's the driveway coming up. Here is the garage. So the garage and the house are a little bit offset here. I am not a builder, so I'm not going to pretend that I know everything that I'm looking at. But here we can see the walls for the garage. Now this is going to be the highest point on the lot, is this back corner of the garage here. So before the photos of the footings, if you saw the pictures of the footings that I posted, look kind of crazy because you couldn't exactly tell what was going where. But the house has a walkout basement, so the garage and the house itself are a little bit offset. They're not at exactly the same height. As you can see, so we're looking at the footings here as we come across the front of the garage. You can see there's a drop down here to where the basement walls start. So what we end up with are full height basement walls here at this end of the house, and the foundation walls will step down as we get towards the low corner of the property where we're going to have the walkout part of the basement. This is a part here I was kind of curious about how it would work, because when we had the footers here, you can see this is basically the connection between where the garage and the house connect, and it has this little zigzag over here. But I noticed from the footers, right, the footers don't exactly match up, right? We've got the high footer here for the garage, and then it drops way down there for the basement footer. But if I can lean over here with the camera, what you can see is they've got a board in there, so that I presume that's enough to keep all the concrete from falling out of the bottom. Not entirely sure if they have to do more than that, but kind of interesting. Guess we'll see once they have it all back together. Also, from this vantage point here, you can kind of see that there are footings in place in the middle, the squares of concrete in the middle there, that will be where the support posts will be in the basement to hold up the steel beams that support the floor across the whole house. Okay, so from here, right now, this little jutting in part here is where the front door will be. So there's a bit of an inset for the front door. There is a porch on the front of the house that'll extend out away from there, but that's what you're looking at here. So as we walk down here, you can see that now the foundation starts to step down, so that it almost comes down to ground level. But really, the first floor height is, going to be up there where the garage is. So this comes across pretty high. That line that they have kind of suspended, that string that's suspended from one end to the other, I'm guessing is going to be pretty close to what the first floor height will be. So even at this end of the house, it is pretty high out of the ground. But the way that they frame this walkout is a little bit different. It'll actually end up being framed like a regular above ground floor of the house, because it is above the grade, so they can frame it with timber. It doesn't have to be super tall walls, and that's what allows you to walk out, to put a regular sliding glass door. Out here in the back corner of the house here, there'll be a sliding glass door. It'll let you walk straight out of the basement to the back. From here, now we're looking basically straight into the basement of the house. You can also see this stepped up in the foundation here, and we'll have the foundation wall will only be a couple feet up above the ground here, so that this can be regraded. The ground around here can be regraded, and this can be a straight walkout. Actually, there'll most likely be a concrete pad right here out of the back of the house. This is our future hot tub area. And if you kind of peer into the inside of the wall forms here, what you see is rebar, lots of rebar. So the rebar pins that are coming out of the footer itself help to keep the wall in place and not shift from side to side. And then the rebar that's kind of running the long way along the inside of the forms here just strengthens up the concrete and the walls, so that even when there is cracking in the concrete itself, the rebar helps to hold it together. So this is the back corner of the house. This is essentially our dining nook here in this back corner of the house, although it will be up here in the air, because right now we would be walking straight into the basement level of the house. So the pictures, pretty much everyone, including us, that looked at the pictures of the footers said, why is that, why they leave all that dirt there in your basement? And that's because the dirt here is actually the basement floor. The first floor is up there. Just follow that string line, or where the top of the wall is on the garage side of the house. That's actually the first floor height. And one other interesting thing to point out here is this is all trenched out here from the back corner of the house. This is the lowest spot on the lot, elevation wise, where we have the house laid out. So this is where the piping for the septic will run out through here. We have to have a septic field here, no sewers where we are. We'll also have a well, but that'll be dug out later once the well drillers come in to do that. And the septic will be drilled way uphill up there. So what they say, certain excrement flows downhill. We don't want your waste interfering with your water supply at all, or even being in the same area. And the county actually verifies and regulates that to some degree. So here we are, still on the back side of the house, just like the front of the house. Now the foundation is going to step up as the ground slopes back up there. And I figured, well, as long as I was back here, I'd just kind of swing the camera around. You see, we don't have much of a backyard. What we have is this nice little gorge, or this is the Glen right behind us. Obviously, this mountain of dirt will get graded away. We won't have this mountain here. The back of the house will have a two-tiered deck on it, though. So we'll have a nice area to kind of overlook, and still enough room back here to have a future fire pit, a little area to sit and enjoy nature here. So just walking along the back side of the house here, and back where it connects up to the garage. Again, one of the things that we will have on the back side of the house too is, or the back side of the garage here, we will have another garage door on the back here, which right now looks really high out of the ground. We might have to do a little bit of grading here to bring the ground up to where the garage floor will actually end up being. But we'll see all that as as the forms kind of come out when they're done pouring the walls, and they start to pour in the floor. We'll have a little better view as to how it all comes together. So that's the tour of the footer walls. If I was Bob Vila, I could probably be a little more informative about how they do all this, but that's not my bag, baby. That's why we're paying someone else to build the house for us, because we don't do construction. But it is pretty exciting to really see some progress being made here, and seeing concrete getting poured. And as you can kind of see from the the leaves here, the trees are just starting to change. Just the very first hints of color coming into the trees. So hoping for a nice dry fall and give these guys plenty more time to work. From what we understand, once they pour the walls, it'll be about 2 weeks for those to cure, and then they will actually start framing. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Bye.